Hey, what's up? It's Chris here from Chris's Sci-Fi Reactions. Today we're here with a pilot reaction. It's Season 1, Episode 1, Alias. I've had two sort of people say different things about this. One said you can watch the first episode even though this is a continuous storyline. If you watch the first episode, it's really not that bad if you stop there. Another person has said to me, oh, if you watch the first one, well, you're just not going to get it without watching the whole thing. So we'll see how it goes. I'll see what sort of response it gets in the amounts of views and comments. So please do leave a comment if you enjoy the reaction. So yeah, I don't think there's much more to be said about this. I know absolutely zilch about this show. Not anything at all. I think it's something to do with spies, but I'm not even sure of that. So I'd say let's just get straight on into this. Oh jeez, that's nice, yeah. In China? I think that's... I don't speak Chinese, but I'm assuming China. I'm not a fan of this sort of like, 2 days earlier or something, or 2 days later.
I'll tell you what, I may become your father-in-law, that's just fine. But I will not be used as part of a charming little anecdote you tell your friends at cocktail parties.
Naps right now, but I want to get it to 47 because that's a prime number.
Well, you might think this is a simple reconnaissance out, but until we find out what the hell happened to Quintero, we need to assume that the enemy is waiting. So I want you to do us a favor. Come back.
Seems like a nice guy. Nice boss to have.
Good run.
Thanks. So, where were you last night? How'd you?
Yeah. My sister set me up on a blind date.
Was it good?
For the date it was, yes.
You didn't like her?
I didn't like her so much, I don't like my sister anymore. That's the problem. Having... Okay. Come take a...
Truth serum?
Come take a...
Trouble, oh, trouble, set me free. I have seen your face and it's too much for me.
It was during the fall of my freshman year.
Trouble,
A man approached me. He told me that the U.S. government might be interested in talking to me about a job.
my heart away and there's nothing much left of me.
When I asked why me, all he told me was that I fit a profile.
I don't want no more of you, so won't you be kind?
Can I live in the dark? And the only answer I came up with, Sid, was yes. Sid, I don't care. The whole world's a...
quicker, I think.
You understand what that means.
Oh, that's fucked up, man. That is... Man, I would go and frickin' kill the boss guy, like, literally, where he's sitting. Like, take a gun and just shoot him in the head.
Let me out.
Sydney, I can't imagine how difficult this is for you.
Let me out.
However, before you go anywhere, McCullough needs to see you. See, you're a risk now, too.
Are you an operative of SD6?
Yes.
How long have you been an operative of SD6?
7 years.
What is your identification and...
I don't think I would have been
classification
able to stop myself from
SD6?
killing the boss.
My identification and classification
Have you ever been so
is
entertained by the
3043.
cleverness of...
Man, it would be pretty fucked up if the dad was the one that killed the fiancé.
Is this how it goes?
It'd be pretty fucked up, but I think it would make a great story.
How it goes. I suppose.
Oh shit.
Daddy?
Now!
Dad, you have a gun.
I guess.
Yeah, it's working. I'll call you later.
I tried you a couple times. Look, just call me back. You are not going to believe the day I had.
And that you are the enemy.
Sydney, this is your last chance. You have to go.
You hung up on me. Should I get like an hour until you want to get some lunch? What happened to your face?
I need your help.
Sid, are you okay?
Yeah, I can't even explain it, so don't ask it. You just gotta trust me.
Of course.
I need to borrow one of your sister's credit cards with at least a $3,000 limit, and I'll pay her back. Can you get it?
Sid, what is this? We owe somebody some money?
There's something else.
The pill I gave you helps the pain. I could tell, because you stopped screaming so loudly. That medication, however, only lasts for 2 hours.
Well, ripping
it's
someone's
been
teeth out
2
would
hours
certainly cause
almost.
pain.
So,
You'd better.
Just let Mr. Weiss know if you need anything else.
New pen, this one's dying.
Oh, Mr. Weiss, was he in... Oh, Heroes, was it? Or was it Bones? I'm not sure, but he's... Yeah, I definitely would not be able to do what she's doing.
What you wrote, I appreciate your not naming me. That was kind.
You're CIA.
You don't know how dangerous this is, Sydney. Doing what I do. I wish you'd take...
Oh, that's right, he was also in the Titanic movie. He was the designer, I think. It's been good 10 years, 15 years since I've seen that movie.
Hello.
Okay, so that was Alias Season 1, Episode 1, Truth Be Told. I really enjoyed that. I really did. If I was going to give the episode a rating, it's hard to give it a rating because it's the first episode and I don't know how good or bad episodes are across the seasons. So I'm gonna sort of treat this like a one-off, just in case I don't continue with the series. So I'm gonna give it an 8. I think I'll give it an 8 for now. Obviously, the more of you that comment in the comments below, the more likely I am to continue reacting to this show. Yeah, but certainly this has been a good start to the show, and we'll see if I continue, but let's just break it down. We start off where sort of somewhere, you know, this young woman's being tortured. Then we transition to a school, which is obviously before that beginning scene happened. Then we have a boyfriend who ends up proposing to Sydney. Then she's hanging out with her friend. I'm not sure what her name is. Oh, damn. Then the boyfriend basically is asking the father for permission, you know, and then the dad's kind of a dick about it. But what he's saying is actually quite accurate, you know. It's true. What you're saying, it's just a courtesy thing, but really, it's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. This is, you know, doesn't really matter what you think in the end. Here we then have Sydney sort of going to this bank, but it turns out to be this underground base, which seems to be a division of the CIA. I'm sorry it's not loading for some reason, or it is loading just really slowly, so yeah, obviously if you're just listening to the audio version, well, there shouldn't be too much of an issue with that, but if you're on YouTube, it can be a bit annoying when this sort of thing happens. Here we're having a meeting about, you know, a villain, I guess. Can't remember. I cannot remember names yet. It would take me at least a few episodes, and one-time villains I probably wouldn't be able to remember all that well. We're then introduced to this, the boss, and then also to this guy who seems to be like the tech support, the Q of Alias, basically. Then we have Sydney meeting a friend who we later learn is a reporter. She tells him that she's getting married to Danny. He's a bit jealous. It appears that is jealous of Danny. I don't know if these two ever dated or not. That wasn't really talked about. And then Sydney ends up telling her fiance, I was about to say boyfriend, but fiance, that she works for the CIA. We sort of get a flashback scene to, well, it's actually a flash forward scene here to what's happening and her being tortured. Here we have Sydney talking to the fiance more about what she does, you know, spying, and that he can't tell literally anyone, otherwise, well, he could get himself or Sydney killed. Here we have, I think his name is Dixon. Could be wrong about that, but Sydney's asking Dixon, if I've got that wrong, I apologize. You know, how long have you been married? I think he said 11 or 12 years, in which that entire time he never told his wife the truth, and he said, you know, it's for a good reason. It's to protect her and everyone else around her as well. We're then undercover at some sort of party. Sydney is going around trying to take photos to bring back to the branch of the CIA, basically. Here we learn that basically they find out, I believe here, that Dan knows of Sydney's affiliation with the CIA. I do get the feeling that he doesn't want to do it here in this scene. Then we have basically the time running out of the cameras. She then bullshits her way through some story about, you know, the boss going to fire her. Here we sort of see that Sydney's father is affiliated with this SD6. Obviously she doesn't know. Here we find that she finds Dan's been murdered. Absolutely slaughtered, you know, literally. That is dark. It is really dark. Here she goes into SD6 and she literally asks why. Then, if I was her, I would have killed him right there. Literally right there. I would have snapped his neck and well, wouldn't have been able to take the day off, would have been thrown in prison. Although, since we learn that this is a rogue division, sort of, it would probably end up me being killed. Here we have Sydney being questioned and interviewed. We go back to the future and we see her being tortured and sort of doing some smart aleck remarks, you know, with writing "bite me," telling the letters "bite me" backwards. Here we have the funeral of Danny. The father is looking, you know, from afar. Obviously, Sydney is having a hard time coping, as would anyone. Dixon comes to try and bring Sydney back into the fold, and, you know, he said literally, if you don't come back, you know, they'll get rid of you. Sydney didn't seem to care, you know, and I think whether she's suicidal here, I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't care what happens to her. You know, here we have the, I think they called it security section. I'm guessing these guys are from that part of this group. They try to literally kill her. The father then comes in and basically saves her. Sydney is totally taken by surprise. Basically, the father said, you know, oh, you got to get to Switzerland, that you don't have the full answers, and you probably won't by the end of the night, which turns out to be true. The father confesses to actually working for the Alliance, which is the enemy, and SD6 is a branch of the Alliance. Here we have Sydney's tooth literally being ripped out, which is absolutely nasty as hell. Here she asks for her friend's sister's passport, I think it was, and a credit card. I'm not sure I would give over that information to even a friend as easily as he did. Here we find that airport security is certainly laxing in whichever airport she was at there, LAX or wherever. Here we sort of get down to her trying to steal this thing, but she ends up getting caught, and then she escapes finally and stabs the head of security, I'm assuming, and then beats the security guards up. She steals it. The soldiers open up fire in this lab, which seems really stupid to me, because would you really fire in a laboratory? I mean, really? It would be really stupid. She is back, and she literally has acquired this thing, and yeah, it all ends up all good. She said she's taking the weekend off, I think, or was the week off. We then find she walks into the CIA as a walk-in, and she's literally writing everything she knows about SD6. She finds out that there's another operative in SD6 that is part of the CIA, and we then find out that it's her dad is actually one working for the CIA. And that's the breakdown. Okay, so I really did enjoy that. We'll see whether I continue watching that. That will obviously be dependent on the amount of views I have, whether anybody would be interested in viewing this on Patreon as a full reaction, as well as leave your comments, and the more comments that are left, the more likely I am to continue reacting to this show. But for now, I don't think there's much more. The full uncut, unedited reaction is available on Patreon, listed in the description below, as well as my social media accounts. And that's all for now, and I will see you next time. Bye.